All right, I'd like to go ahead and call tonight's meeting to order. Trustee Betters, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? Thank you very much. Happy New Year to everyone. Hope everyone had good holidays. I do want to start by acknowledging everyone who has been impacted by the winds and the subsequent fires across Southern California. I know each of us is probably either directly impacted or knows people who have been. So keeping all of you in our thoughts that way. We'll move on to item 2, public comments on the agenda and non-agenda items. So pursuant to Board Policy 2350, any person may speak to the Board of Trustees either on an agenda item or on other matters of interest to the public that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the board, and before any board action is taken. Comments must be limited to 3 minutes per speaker and 20 minutes on the same or substantially similar topic, unless majority of the board votes to extend the time limit. As a matter of policy, members of the board may not discuss or respond to matters raised during public comment unless the matters are properly noticed for discussion or action in open session. And those with questions about access or if you require accommodation to participate in the public meeting, please contact the Chancellor's office at 909-388-6903 as far in advance of the board meeting as possible. Do we have any public comment?
We have one.
One public comment. All right, Dahim Fuzuni?
Good afternoon, honorable board members, Chancellor Rodriguez, President Contreras, and all. My name is Dahim Fuzuni. I'm the faculty chair of the English department at San Bernardino Valley College. I'm here tonight to speak on an item on the agenda. But first, I'd like to provide a brief account of the English department's 2024. In many ways, 2024 was a challenging year for us as far as personnel. We had 3 faculty members retire. I'd like to acknowledge their service and commitment to our students, Professors Diane Hunter, Professor Dolores Moreno, and Professor Paula Ferry Milligan. Combined, they had over 100 years of service to the college, and I'd like to thank them. Last January, we had the unexpected loss of a beloved faculty member, Joel Moore, a pillar of the department, the college, and the community. During his memorial in April, we had faculty, staff, administrators, and numerous members of the community join us and to remember this great person and all that he did for us. We miss him and we miss them all. A new year and a new possibilities. In 2025, we look to turn a new leaf. In your consent agenda tonight, you have the names of 3 faculty who are recent hires. I would like to officially welcome Professors Natalie Arps-Bumbera, Professor Myra Frias, and Professor Natalie Peterkin to the department, to the San Bernardino Valley College, and to the district family. Many people are responsible for this and deserve our thanks. I would like to thank Dr. Contreras. Thank you for your leadership and your support in replenishing our numbers. I would like to thank the HR for making a smooth and effective process that identified numerous excellent candidates. Special thank you to Erica Mosley, who made the process more enjoyable. She's a wonderful combination, sweet, kind, and tough. And if you don't think that's possible, spend a little time with her and you'll see how. I would also like to thank interim VPI, our dean at the time, Letitia Hector. Thank you so much for, where is she? Thank you so much for your support. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I would like to thank our interim dean, Davina Burns-Peters, who's been very helpful in helping me onboard our new hires. The English department has a long and proud history of service to the college, to our students, and to the district. In addition to teaching numerous classes, including the most popular class, English 101, you can find our faculty serving as advisors to numerous student clubs. You can find our faculty in Academic Senate, in nearly every committee, working hard. And we sponsor numerous events meant for the students, college, and the community, including film festivals, poetry readings, and a new one, a new student reading event call it a little more. If
Your
I can have
turn
one
is
more minute.
complete.
Tonight I'm wearing the SBVC commencement hat, and I'd like to here in front of the board reiterate and reaffirm the English department's commitment to continue and build upon the tradition of excellence and service to our students, to our college, to our district in 2025 and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. I think we can skip item 3.
Yes.
Right, so we'll move on to item 4, presentations, the prioritized board directives and strategic plan summary. Chancellor.
Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez. Presenting for us today will be both Executive Vice Chancellor Jose Torres and Vice Chancellor Dr. Noemi Morales. The title of their presentation is to prioritize board directives and strategic plan summary. Through their presentation, you will see how we have aligned many of our planning documents. So with that, I'll turn it over to the Vice Chancellors.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. And just to provide a little bit of context, this is a request from the Board Finance Committee to provide a little bit more context to you, all the entire board, in regards to a few items that you have on the agenda today, especially the one with when you provide budget directives to us for the upcoming fiscal year. So, so how do we get here? So, if you go to the next slide, please. Oh, here it is. Okay, there you go. So how do we get here, and why is it that you approve these budget directives on an annual basis? Just to give you a little bit of context, where we have been more than anything is a few years back, we had the need to create a strategic plan. We had some plans that were not aligned district-wide with the colleges as well and DSO. We have timelines that were not aligned as well. Some of the colleges were in a different timeline than the DSO as well when it came to the strategic plan. And we began this process. Trustee Houston at that time provided a presentation to the entire board, and where she presented the different types of goals that we had, different types of definitions that we had for directives, different type of definition that we have for priorities as well. And we wanted to have a direction to move forward. We wanted to create as Trustee Houston called it, the North Star, right? That's what she called it at that time. We wanted to have the North Star for us to follow as we moved along. So you gave us a directive at that time to start creating a new strategic plan. And you told us you wanted a few things accomplished in the strategic plan. You wanted to make sure that there was community engagement. You wanted to make sure that the board had created goals, and you wanted to make sure that it was aligned with the colleges and DSO. That's what you told us you wanted to do, you wanted to accomplish. So we did that. We accomplished that. And with that, we accomplished the SBCCD model.
And so along that, we really began to think about what an integrated approach would look like across the district, which included the colleges as well. And so we began really looking at what is our integrated planning process and how does it support being student focused. And so what you have here is a graphic that was designed as a symbol of what we're committed to. And so the area that's shaded black is the board goals, and the board goals really focus on, what are our larger impactful processes for the district. We also have the college's educational master plans. And so that is really guiding the colleges with the work that they have to do to support students, but also aligning it with the district goals in the strategic plan. And the last component was the DSO. How does the DSO, the district support operations plan, support all of the work that we're doing? So as we went through that process, you can click on the next slide, this didn't happen overnight. It really was years and efforts, collective efforts of really defining what the importance goals are for the board and for the district, and then looking at how do the colleges and how does the district develop plans that are integrated along that. So what you have is in front of you, you'll see the different phases that we went through. So we went through and started with the board defining their strategic plan and their goals in 2021. And then in 2022, we looked at the colleges beginning their work to make sure that their vision aligned with the board. And then the final step of that, phase 3, was the district, and how does the district support the board goals and the colleges in achieving what's been established. And so we are in phase 4 now, and phase 4 is really refining and improvement. One of the pieces that we talk about in our planning process is that everything doesn't stay the same. Things change, and so having a timeline and a structure that will allow us to be flexible enough to focus on our goals, but also to adapt to the changes. And so we're really proud of what we've done, and we have timelines where the board receives monthly updates on our goals. You can click monthly updates on our goals, but also opportunities for the board to provide feedback and reaffirm the goals on an annual basis. So as we begin to think about where we are and where we're going, the 4 goals that the board has established and reaffirmed are pictured in the slide there. I won't go through those for the effort of time, but you do have those 4 goals, and it's really important to understand that that is what we use for our planning process district-wide. It's not just one area, it's not isolated, and so when we're talking about our goals and when we're aligning them to the work, everything has been aligned to those 4 goals.
And part of what we're working on as we move forward, and which you will receive a presentation in February, is the development of a comprehensive facilities master plan. That's what we're working on. And it's aligned with the strategic goals that you set for us. It's aligned with everything that we're working on. It's aligned with the college, it's aligned with DSO, and it goes with that alignment. And part of that is also aligning the restricted general fund, which is what you have in the board agenda today, is those goals, right? And those directives that you gave us from the budget. You want us to focus on the strategic plan that you set for us. So that's what the budget development, budget directives are for, and that's pretty much the context a little bit for you to hear where we have been and where we're going as well.
And it's as we begin to continue to look ahead, it really is the budget and the alignment of the goals and the activities that are outlined and prioritized that help us with those decisions, that help us move forward in that direction. So just in terms of looking ahead and what's in the future, you will continue to receive those monthly updates on the progress being made towards those goals. But in January, the January study session, we will go into further detail regarding what we've accomplished and the impact that we've had on all of those goals. We're happy to answer any questions.
Do you have any?
Do trustees have any questions?
I have a question.
Trustee Reyes?
Thanks so much for this great report. Now, do you see any obstacles, any problems that we may have in regards to what's happening at the state in terms of the budget, and in terms of the federal, and some of the great programs that you have, or goals that we have? I'm hesitant to know what's going to happen at the state level in regards to the deficit and so forth. Do we have opportunities to, and I know you have no control over that, you just have to.
You want to respond to that, or okay?
So we just heard on budget update, this Board Finance Committee today, and the expectation, what we're hoping to see in the upcoming year budget, and what we're hoping to see from the governors as well. There are the current projections expect that there will be a surplus at the state budget, but the projections also stating that in the future years there will be deficits. So most likely what we foresee is that in the upcoming year with a surplus, there will be one-time funds available, but not ongoing commitments from the state. So that's what we foresee. So we have been preparing for this. We have, as you know, we have been preparing for the rebenching of the FDES that happens this year, at the end of this year. We are in a great position to weather the storm. That we're concerned, we're always concerned at the state budget. We mentioned at the Board Finance Committee that we prefer deferrals rather than not funding the full funding formula. We have enough, you have great policies that have set us in a good place to weather the storm if we had deferrals, and that's what we want, but we want full funding, even if it comes at a later place. So that's what we're anticipating. The governor is releasing his proposal tomorrow, but there's a whole negotiation process that happens between January and July. And we'll make sure that we'll advocate as well from our perspective to make sure that we get our portion.
Trustee Williams.
Frank, when I'm listening and looking at this, I just kind of wish Francis Grice was here. If you think about where we were, 5, 6 years ago, you all really should be commended. I think we had $90 million just leaving the region and going to, I'm not even gonna say where it went, but $163 million of contracts awarded to local contractors I think it's significant. I don't know what the comparison is to other districts, but I think for us, I think it's something that's pretty cool. $4 million for local workers. I'm really interested in seeing how much of that went into my trustee area. And then $14 million in contracts for, disadvantaged businesses, and the 56% local workers. And so, I think you all deserve a round of applause, and we need to do a remix of your birthday party. I think, when you think about where we were and, contractors were complaining about not getting paid by subs. And so it's a big difference. And so, I'm pleased with the progress, and just, thank you all for the efforts. And so it's impressive. Thank you.
Any other questions for staff? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, now we'll move on to the approval of the minutes of the December 13th, 2024 business meeting. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, how about we've got a motion from trustee Houston and a second by trustee Reyes to approve the minutes of December 13th. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, I will go ahead and move on to our student trustees electronic advisory votes, followed then by our trustees. And the motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Item 6, recognition and celebrations. Applause cards. Chancellor. Are they up? There we go. Okay. Here we go. Congrats to all of those who've been recognized by your peers. Okay, moving on to the action agenda. Item A, the prioritized board directives for development of the 2025-2026 budget for the first reading. Do we have a motion?
Houston, I'll make that motion.
So we have a motion to approve the prioritized budget board directives for the development of the budget at the first reading, moved by trustee Houston and seconded by trustee Betters. Is there any discussion? There is no discussion, and we'll move on to our electronic votes. Student trustees first, and then. All right, and the motion carries unanimously. Item B, board policies for final approval. Do you have a motion to approve?
So move.
And a second?
Second, Houston.
Okay, we have a motion by trustee Williams, second by trustee Houston to approve board policies at final approval. Is there any discussion? There's no discussion. We'll move along to our roll call votes. Our electronic vote. Student trustees, I know, right? And the motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item C, guiding principles for the $15 million state grant to KVCR. Is there a motion to approve the guiding principles?
I second.
So we have a motion from trustee Aguilera, a second by trustee Reyes to approve the guiding principles for the $15 million state grant to KVCR. Is there any discussion? All right, if there's no discussion, we'll move on to our electronic votes. Okay. Am I the one missing? All right. And the motion carries unanimously. Item D, guiding principles for the FCC auction proceeds. Is there a motion to approve the guiding principles?
Second, Houston?
So we have a motion by trustee Betters and a second from trustee Houston to approve the guiding principles for the FCC auction proceeds. Is there any discussion?
Just quick question. Have the incoming trustees, have they had an opportunity to have a download on, where this came from and, what it's all about? The proceeds?
I'm familiar with the process. Were you talking to me?
Well,
Yeah.
and trustee Aguilera.
So, Trustee Betters is, as she stated, familiar with the process. Trustee Aguilera and I had a brief conversation about KVCR and some of the history last times. And Trustee Aguilera and I are currently setting up a time to do tours of both of the campuses, which will include KVCR.
Any further discussion? All right, if there's no further discussion, we'll proceed with our electronic vote. Student trustees first. And the motion carries unanimously. Item E, the independent audit of the San Bernardino Community College District. Is there a motion to approve the independent audit? Yes. And a second?
Second.
Motion from trustee Longville with a second by trustee Reyes to approve the independent audit of the San Bernardino Community College District. Is there any discussion? All right, hearing none, we will move on to our electronic vote. And the motion carries unanimously. Item F, the independent audit of the district's Measure CC General Obligation Bond Program. Is there a motion to approve the independent audit of the... All right, and a second? I second. So we have a motion by trustee Longville with a second by trustee Aguilera to approve the independent audit of the district's Measure CC General Obligation Bond Program. Is there any discussion?
I have a question. Are we still, I know we've done several measure bond issues. Are we using the same consultant to do the audit?
Executive Vice
We
Chancellor.
have, the audit firm is here. Wait, there you go, he is. So what the requirements are that you can keep the same audit firm, but there has to be a rotation in the partners in order to remain compliance. So we had the audit firm for the past 9 years? 9 years, yes.
Okay, and,
They're,
but they have to change within
they have to change the partners within their companies, yes.
Why is that?
Yep, coming up, please.
Please introduce
You want to introduce yourself too? You want to introduce yourself too, please?
My counterpart, he lost his mother, and I'm here to present on his behalf. Rick Alonso is your actual partner that oversees the engagement. I rotated off after a certain amount of years because the AICPA requires us to rotate every 6 years to make sure we get fresh eyes, fresh thoughts, fresh ideas, and different perspectives of overlooking the audit, and that's what we stay in compliance with that. So I rotated off, I think, maybe 4 years ago. Haven't been back since, so I'm happy to see some of your faces I've seen before. But that's the reason why we have to rotate every year, every 6 years.
Thank you. Any other questions or discussion? Thank you.
Thank you.
If there's no further discussion, then we'll move along to our electronic vote. And the motion to approve the Measure CC audit is unanimous. Moving on to item G, independent audit of the district's Measure M, general obligation. Do we have a second?
I'll second that, Houston.
Thank you. So we have a motion by trustee Longville and a second from trustee Houston to approve the independent audit of the district's Measure M, general obligation bond program. Is there any discussion? All right, Hearing none, we will move on to our electronic vote. And the motion carries unanimously. Moving on to item 8, the consent agenda. The consent agenda is expected to be routine and non-controversial and will be acted upon by the board at one time without discussion. Any member of the board, staff, or a citizen may request that an item be removed for this section for discussion. Are there any items to be pulled from the consent agenda? All right, hearing none, do we have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Second.
We have a motion by trustee Betters with a second from trustee Williams to approve the consent agenda as presented. Is there any discussion? All right, then we'll go ahead and call for our electronic vote. And the consent agenda is approved unanimously. Moving on to item 9, reports. Board, committee, and activity reports. The Board of Finance Committee, trustee Houston.
All right, so our Board Finance Committee met today, and some of the highlights of what we were able to discuss and cover include the committee charge. So we affirmed the committee charge in accordance with the board action that was taken on December 13th of 2024. The committee charge includes promoting transparency of the budgeting process, fiscal matters, performing time-consuming research on the board's behalf, improving clarity by providing a platform for detailed questions, and communicating findings and formulating final recommendations to the full board of trustees. After that, we had a presentation on our POWERS investments. And so the presentation provided the regular semi-annual update. The investments are outperforming our expectation and our policy, and providing more than our 5% projected goal, which is what we have reflected in policy. Next, we were able to hear from our Associate Vice Chancellor of Government Relations, Strategic Communications, and Grants, Angel Rodriguez, and he provided our 2025 budget and legislative advocacy priorities and our advocacy next steps for 2025. We also heard our workforce report where we were able to get the overall economic picture and impact for Measure CC and Measure M and the bond construction projects that are currently underway. As Trustee Williams had previously alluded to during the presentation, some of the highlights include the investment that has been made into our own communities of $11 million going directly to our local workforce, $16 million in contracts awarded to minority, women, and veteran businesses, and $177 million in contracts awarded to local businesses. So that was pretty exciting to hear and get the detailed report on that. And then, as was previously alluded to, we did have a very brief state budget presentation in that the governor is expected to release the proposed budget for 25-26 tomorrow. And we had just a little bit of a preview of that in that there has been some high-level information that's already been released. And finally, what you'll find you each have at your seats is the quarterly activity report for the Board Finance Committee on one side, and that has what we've done over the sort of the priorities and the accomplishments over the last 3 months. And then you also have the planning calendar on the other side, so you can see what's coming up ahead. One of the comments made during the committee meeting had to do with in December, we were able to take a visit to Cal Poly Pomona and do some touring, and it was really a highlight of really the work and the charge of the Board Finance Committee to follow up on some of our board workshops and priorities with regard to future planning and taking a look at the district. So with that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Moving on to the Board Legislative Committee. Trustee Reyes, do you have a report?
Yes, thank you so much. I think we should consider ourselves the all-star committees with the Finance Committee and the Legislative Committee and the Community College, San Bernardino Community College District. We're doing a real good job. We're going to be very active because we want to make a difference in regards to what's going to happen at the state and at the federal level. We welcome Carlos Aguilera, our trustee, new member. He doesn't know that he's going to be working really hard. Expect to sleep less, but we are encouraged to welcome him, expertise in terms of working with the state and the federal. We also received a great update in regards to the new laws impacting our community college district for the 2025. And it's going to be challenging because we don't know what to expect in regards to what the federal government is going to request, but we'll be ready. We also received a regional update in terms of our advocacy. And happy to say again that through the leadership of Diana, our chancellor, and our other members of her team, we're working closely with the county of San Bernardino, requesting $10 million. It's up to them to support us because, after all, we are the future workforce for this area, and we are the one of the few community colleges that is taking the lead in regards to this. So we're asking actually for $10 million that would help us with the future workforce. And one of them, if you notice right now, what's the most important thing? What's happening in the state of California that is really fires? Well, who has the best fire training facility in this whole region? Crafton Hills College. So we have a golden opportunity to have a great impact. And the reception that we received from the Board of Supervisors, by the way, they've never given us any money. So this will be we're asking for $10 million. But we have, thanks to the leadership of Diana, we have specific reasons why we're asking. So for every request that we have a background in terms of what we need to do. We're also going to be getting involved with at the regional, at the state, and the local. We plan to go and visit our policymakers, and Angel and Inez are doing a good job in regards to providing an outline with pictures of people that are elected officials, and I think it's really good because we also go visit the Board of Education, the City Council. This is a partnership. So wherever we go, they know that San Bernardino Community College District is involved with the future workforce. And I'm also going to be asking the Board of the County Superintendent of Schools to be part financially in terms of how they can do it, because we also work with them. I noticed that Mr. Ted Alejandre was one of the presenters or speakers. We just got an award for doing the kids thing. I think it's wonderful. I mean, this is where I think true partnership comes in. We're there to help them. We only have one of the few that I know that Ms. Connie Aleva is here, who's the director of the KVCR. We're doing some wonderful things. So I think we are in a very good position to ask for those monies. And of course, Angel keeps us posted in regards to college affordability at the highest level in Washington, D.C., and also workforce development. We are the workforce development. As all of you know, we're going to be opening up a applied technology. It's cost us over $100 million. There's no other place to go but to San Bernardino Community College District and Crafton Hills College if they want to go into the area of fire training. So they can't really beat us. And I'm very optimistic that I can speak to anybody about this, and I'll convince them to come to San Bernardino Valley College and Crafton Hills College without putting in any other college or university down. We're the best buy in town. We really are the best buy in town. So anyway, we had a great report. Looking forward to going to Washington for the trustee, the Association of Community College Trustees, where we're going to be advocating with the federal partners, and we're optimistic that we're going to get the support. So it was a very good report from our other members. And Carlos, get some sleep because we're going to put you to work.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes. For the Board of Governors.
Yes. First, I need to apologize to Trustee Houston because I jumped the gun on sharing some of the goals. I got excited. So forgive me for that. I mean, we come a long way. And so that's just really exciting to see. So the Board of Governors is going to meet on January the 14th, and there are, I think it's like three things that I want to share. There's a regulatory change around a program that is called, or it used to be called, the Foster Youth Education Support. They're renaming it to the Next Up program, and it's designed to increase access to higher education opportunities to foster youth. And so they're going to be what's called a college access demonstration grant. They're small grants. It's $180,000 is what up to 6 to 10 colleges will be eligible for. Now there's only $180,000 over 2 years. But it is designed to engage high school students who are in the foster care system and getting them access to community college. So I thought that that was something that you all might have interest in. The second one is another Title V change around the course outlines of records. And this is I believe this is a first read, and it's specifically designed to really increase credit and non-credit instruction. I thought this was about credit for prior learning originally, but take a look at this, the 45-day public comment period. I believe it's still open. This is the first read. And then the second one, there are going to be two new college centers that are going to be considered for approval. San Jacinto Community College District and Palomar. And I'd just like to ask us to consider having a conversation about the pros and cons of centers and what impacts they have on enrollment, and are there opportunities in our communities where there are adult education facilities where we don't have a college facility? Are there opportunities for us to partner and I'm not saying that we need to open a center, but, at least explore the conversation about the pros and cons of centers.
Thank you. Joint Powers Authority, Trustee Houston?
No report. We canceled we had a meeting scheduled for yesterday, but obviously it was a busy day for fire service.
But it was. All right, moving on to the Chancellor's report.
Thank you. First, I just want to wish everyone a very happy New Year. And as Dr. Gonzalez started off our meetings, our hearts go out to all of those who are dealing with the winds and also with the power outages that have been happening over the last few days. I know that there are a number of you in this room that have had no power for several days, yet you still continue to show your dedication to the district in finding ways to source power. So thank you for your commitment for that. I also want to send our thoughts and prayers to our colleagues in LA County and to our colleagues at the various institutions who are in evacuation mode and so on, and still having the time to ask us how we're doing with the weather judgment. So please keep them in your thoughts and in your prayers. My report, the majority of my report tonight will focus on, some of the fantastic stuff that we did in 2024. I'm looking here at a goal sheet, just kind of a little bit of an update on some of the things that we have done. For example, around Goal 1, we've increased our CCAP sections from 138 to 210, and increasing its FTES from 174 to 349. Big kudos to the faculty and all of those that dedicated themselves to our CCAP programs. Also, with our, in terms of enrollment and in keeping to our commitment to student success, with our Black African American student enrollments increased by 9.2%, going from 1,982 to 2,164. Huge kudos to everybody involved in those efforts. Around Goal 3, being a diverse, equitable, inclusive, and anti-racist institution, we've increased our ethnic study sections from 9 sections in 2021 to 88 in the 2024, reflecting, just a huge growth in that area. A lot of work, a big heavy lift in that area. We also supported over 1,100 families that were in need with over 26,000 diapers and 20,000 pounds of produce that were distributed over our district. Now, some may find it, curious and maybe chuckle a little bit about distributing diapers and produce. But I will tell you, to those over 1,100 families, that was meaningful. So thank you for the work there. In goal 3, being a leader in addressing regional issues. So the district supported 60 justice-involved individuals through the KVCR Work Crew program, with 95% completing it and 52% securing full-time employment through that program. And the program boasts a 3%, I always get this word wrong, recidivism rate, compared to the 47% statewide average. So a lot of work being done there over in the EdCT area. And, excuse me, goal 4, future fiscal accountability and sustainability. We've enhanced our cybersecurity efforts, implementing 14 new policies to safeguard our data and our system. So as you can see, a lot of work is being done, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. But I also have a video that I'd like to share with the board and the audience that tells the story of what we've done over the past year better, far better than I can articulate.
At the San Bernardino Community College District, 2024 was all about rolling up our sleeves and creating opportunities for you, our local students, families, and neighbors. Let's rewind and take a look at our 5 biggest moments from 2024. This year, 2,485 grads from Crafton Hills College and San Bernardino Valley College earned over 4,400 degrees and career certificates. These aren't just pieces of paper, they're launching pads. Our grads are now out there working in hospitals, schools, businesses, and nonprofits, making the Inland Empire stronger every day. Over at Crafton Hills College, we opened up the new Public Safety Training Center in August, thanks to Measure CC. That means more future firefighters and EMTs. The folks who will show up when emergencies strike. This is the kind of investment that keeps our families and neighborhoods safe. Here's something you might not know. KVCR runs the only TV station in the country focused on Native American and Indigenous stories, called First Nations Experience. Thanks to a $1.3 million gift this November from the Seminole Band of Mission Indians, FNX is expanding its reach with more kids shows, documentaries, and news that brings our communities closer together. In September, we announced plans for a new job training center at the former Norton Air Force Base. With $3 million in federal funding, we're expanding into a hub for adults to get a second chance and learn new skills that lead to good-paying careers in construction, fire prevention, environmental cleanup, and more. It's all about keeping folks working and families thriving. Last but not least, sports fans, this one's for you. This April, San Bernardino Valley College unveiled a brand new softball field. But it's more than just a place to play. It's about teamwork, leadership, and giving young women opportunities to grow and be champions of life. Plus, it's one more reason to cheer on the home team. What a year, right? In 2025, we're looking forward to creating even more opportunities for our students and local community. We wish you success and growth this new year. Happy New Year from all of us at the San Bernardino Community College District.
Again, thank you all for a fantastic year, and that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor.
Can we get that resent to us? The video?
Absolutely.
Moving on to our represented groups. Do we have a report from the Crafton Hills College Academic Senate? Looks like no report. Crafton Hills College Classified Senate? How about the Crafton Hills College Associated Students? They're probably not back for the spring semester yet. San Bernardino Valley College Academic Senate. Great.
Is this on?
It is.
Yes, okay, good. One, I want to introduce myself to those trustees that are new. My name is Andrea Hecht, and as mentioned, I'm Academic Senate President for San Bernardino Valley College. I want to wish everyone a Happy New Year's. Congratulations to Dr. Nathan Gonzalez as chair, and welcome Dr. Betters as well as Carlos Aguilera. I'm glad to be here and to be working with all of you in contribution with Dr. Contreras, my president. So welcome and thank you. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Chancellor, you've had a...
Yes, I probably forgot one of the most important things as we kick off this new calendar year. A huge, huge congratulations to Trustee Aguilera and his family for the new addition of their baby girl.
Thank you, Chancellor Rodriguez. I know you were talking about helping families with diapers, so I definitely understand the need for that. So everything your team has done is incredible, and we're here to support you. Thank you.
All right, San Bernardino Valley College Classified Senate. No report. San Bernardino Valley College Associated Students? No. All right, how about CSEA? CTA? So I know there is a report for that.
Are we on? Yes. Good evening. Board of Trustees, Chancellor Dr. Rodriguez, campus presidents, senior district leaders. Hi, Jose. I'm Jeff Dembski. I'm the faculty union president. Happy New Year. It's hard to believe we're 25 years into the 21st century. As the old adage teaches, time waits for no person or organization. But looking back over the past few decades, it's clear that our district has more than met the pace of change. Our campus's facilities, as we just saw, the many new and refurbished buildings, including current projects, would have been hard to envision those all completed 25 years ago. But the scale up at Crafton Hills and San Bernardino Valley and KVCR and the EDCT Center, all of that's happened right before our eyes. The same is true regarding the district's past 25 years of investments into developing our information, technology infrastructure, our counseling capabilities online, our teaching capabilities online, and now more urgent than ever, our district's intentionality in creating and sustaining diverse, inclusive, equitable, and anti-racist workspaces. Modernizing our site's physical landscapes, our service capacities, our cultural competencies. These are all significant district accomplishments, but to be more precise, they are Board of Trustee accomplishments. It's real work. They tangibly help our students, they help our faculty, and of course, they help our community. CTA recognizes this growth, we appreciate this growth, and we really look forward to what you guys have planned for us in the future. These aren't really just kind words. My praise reflects a more substantial underlying reality. Many of our faculty have worked for the district for a large portion of the last 25 years. Serving San Bernardino Community College District is their life's professional work. That's what they're going to do in this lifetime. And we rely on you as our collective leaders to anticipate challenges that have not yet formed, to calibrate solutions without knowing the scope of the potential available resources. This is, and it seems like an impossible task, but if the last 25 years is any indicator, from navigating our way through a Y2K bug that never existed to a coronavirus bug that certainly did, CTA is assured that you know what you're doing, and we're here to help you with it. I'll close by noting that the district has just onboarded a number of faculty. My colleague Dehim just mentioned 3 from English. Who knows if one of these new hires 25 years from now, in 2050, will be standing right here, looking back on the work that you're planning to perform right now. So let's get it done. Let us know how we can help so that that person in 2050 has something to brag about. Folks, have a great semester. See you next month.
Thanks, Professor. Moving on, Police Officers Association. Is there a report there? No report? Moving on to the staff report. San Bernardino Valley College President, Dr. Contreras.
Thank you, Trustee Gonzalez. In addition to my written report, I have a few updates from San Bernardino Valley College. To keep the good times rolling and the good news, we are very proud that 3 of our Next Up students received a scholarship in the amount of $12,000. Very impressive because there was only 5 awarded and 3 of them were at Valley College. Really outstanding. And just a reminder, Next Up serves our current and former foster youth, so that money is very important to our students. A lot of people to thank, especially our team in student services, and especially Joanne Hinojosa, Evelyn Luna, and the entire team for supporting our students. And next, good news, enrollment is up, continues to be up across the district, but at Valley College, there will be 11,269 Wolverines spring 2025, and the number continues to grow as we get closer to the first day. That represents 15% up in FTES and about 14.3% up in head count. So that's exciting news as well, because that takes all of us working together to produce those results. And then last, just talking about the accolades from fall 2024. That video could have had so many things, and it really showcases what we do, on top of the visit from the Board of Governors being #1 in credit for prior learning, and the list goes on and on and on. But also in responding to challenges, having to close for fires, having to talk about remote or closures for what's currently going on. And that takes a lot of teamwork. And I guess the point I'm trying to make is to say thank you to all of you, to thank you to our district teammates who have really helped us through a great deal of transition this past year through fall 2024 with a number of vacancies, a number of interims. I really want to thank the chancellor's team, especially Dr. Rodriguez, but also Vice Chancellor Torres, you and your team, Noemi, you and your team, Angel, Christina, Carla, Tiffany, Stacy, everyone who's helped with our college moving forward. There's a lot of momentum at Valley College, and it's really exciting time to be a Wolverine. And just want to say thank you to everyone who's helped us bring us there. Also want to thank Kevin. The SBCCD Olympics was incredible. It was an incredible team builder for Valley College, even though it was kind of a little shady with Raftgate and other things that happened. But after opening day, we're having tryouts, so we'll be ready for the Olympics this upcoming year. I just want to wish everybody a happy 2025.
Thank you. Crafton Hills College President, Dr. Haran.
Bypassing any Olympic talk, I want to start with some really great news. Crafton has been awarded a $118,000 grant to pursue further zero textbook costs at the college, and we'll be working on that this semester, along with a $200,000 IEPI grant to help us enhance our dual enrollment program, and we'll be having a team of our peers throughout the state helping with us this next semester to grow those programs at Crafton as well. I want to start by thanking all of the amazing staff, specifically in our M&O and custodial staff that have pivoted over the past 2 days with Crafton's closure due to the power outage. These incredible individuals have been refilling generators, clearing down trees, and cleaning out refrigerators that have had food spoilage. With each day that the power outage continues, we encounter new challenges, and I'm sure we may have some new challenges tomorrow. It looks like our power is going to continue to be out. But these folks have done an amazing job preparing the college, as well as our student services personnel who have quickly pivoted to online services or remote services to continue to support our students. I was just notified we have figured out a way to disperse 100 insulated bags tomorrow with food supplies and non-perishable supplies, as well as to our students through our Basic Needs Center. I want to really thank our student services staff for rallying around that. We are excited. Our in-service days are going to be next week. I'm sure we'll have power by then. And we're going to have lots of great trainings, 2 of which will be the undocumented ally training, which will be taking place with our entire college staff. And also our first training on our artificial intelligence. We'll be having some robust conversations around that. And I want to end my report with some sad news. We learned that 2 of our long-term employees passed prior to the Christmas holiday, ironically on the same day. But Laura Winningham, our former library director, and Michelle Cole, a long-term employee, admin assistant in our student life program, passed, and our thoughts and prayers are with them and their families.
Thank you. Executive Vice Chancellor? Vice Chancellor of Human Resources and Police Services?
No report, but I would like to say Happy New Year and let's go Broncos.
Vice Chancellor of Educational and Student Support Services.
No report, but Happy New Year to everyone.
All right, thank you. Moving on to Section 9, information items. Are there any questions or discussion of information items? All right. We will then move on to the announcement of closed session items. We are going to go into closed session let's reconvene at 5:05, please. That would be great. You can, anyway, they're generally stated on the agenda. So with that, we will, oh, actually, I guess I should ask, are there public comment on closed session items? If there is none, then we will, the board right now, it is 4:55, and we will convene in closed session at 5:10. 5:05. I'm losing it. The time is 5:49 p.m. and I will reconvene the public meeting. Our report of action in closed session, Clerk Betters.
On January 9th, 2025, the board unanimously took action to approve the release of probationary number 32488 as a maintenance technician at SBVC, effective January 10th, 2025. On January 9th, 2025, the board unanimously took action to not reemploy the vice president of instruction at SBVC for the 26-27 academic year and to send notice to management employee number 30103.
Thank you. And with that, the meeting is adjourned. The next meeting of the board will be the board strategy session on January 23rd, 2025 at 4 p.m. here in the San Bernardino Community College District Boardroom, 550 East Hospitality Lane, Suite 200. The time is 5:50, and we're adjourned.